Welcome. Thanks everyone for joining me today. I think we'll go ahead and get started. My name is Misty Hobrach and I am a marketing manager here at ReachForce. ReachForce is a marketing data management company focused on really delivering growth through our data quality solutions. I'm excited to talk about one of the hottest topics in marketing right now, ABM. It's all over the place. And how ReachForce, how our data quality plays such an important role within ABM's success. So I would like to thank everyone again for taking the time out of your busy schedules to join us on today's webinar, Data Quality and ABM Success. All right, let me move on over to the agenda. There it is. All right, so as I mentioned, we're going to talk about account-based marketing and how data enrichment plays an important role within ABM initiatives. We'll discuss the importance of data quality. We'll also discuss how to get accurate data without losing prospects on the form. We will also discuss the benefits of capturing high-value lead data at the point of entry in real time. And then at the end, discuss how smart forms will help keep your ABM initiatives on target. We'll have a brief Q&A also, and if your question's not answered, we'll definitely follow up with you after the webcast. Just a few other housekeeping items before we get started. Everyone will be in listen-only mode. So I encourage you to please type in your questions and submit them in the chat box as they come up throughout the webinar. All right. Well, thanks again for joining. All right, so what is ABM? We're all hearing about ABM. It's the buzzword right now. So it's account-based marketing. It's a B2B strategic approach to reaching a smaller subset, of prospects that meet your ideal profile. So as opposed to more traditional marketing tactics that just cast that wide net in terms of targeting and messaging, it's really narrowly focused on a lead generation strategy in which leads are going to be much more qualified. So ABM programs, they really operate on the philosophy of delivering personalized messaging to that smaller set of targeted accounts. So even though you're marketing to a smaller number of targeted accounts, they're going to be highly qualified and they have been identified within your organization as a good fit for you to go after. These highly qualified leads are then going to be nurtured along the buyer's journey with the ultimate goal of converting them into sales leads, pipeline growth, or even strategic partners as well. Within ABM, it's really critical for sales and marketing to align within your organization for your ABM to be successful. There really has to be a clear understanding of the accounts that the company is prospecting. And here on the screen, I thought this is interesting. It's top 5 tactics used by account-based marketers. So you can see the top 5 things that they have found that are the most important. So regularly planned meetings with sales, sales enablement, event planning, funnel and pipeline review on a regular basis, and also list building as well. So why is ABM all the buzz right now? So as I mentioned, right, it's almost impossible to look on Twitter or LinkedIn and not see something about ABM. So ABM, it's getting a lot of buzz, and for definitely good reason, right? Companies with sustained ABM initiatives are seeing really positive, measurable results. ABM, it's not a new marketing technique, however. It's currently just at the top of everyone's mind, right? An ABM program that is really well planned and thoughtfully executed can really help to create an influx of marketing qualified leads and also sales pipeline. This is a really interesting statistic. Those companies that are practicing ABM have reported better alignment with sales and often close bigger deals with target accounts. And have an increased pipeline velocity as well. And according to a 2015 survey by Serious Decisions, 92% of companies recognize the value in ABM, calling it a B2B marketer's must-have. So there's definitely a lot of numbers and metrics around the success of ABM initiatives when implemented within your organization. And as I mentioned, in order to successfully reach your target accounts, your data is going to have to be accurate and complete. And without that accurate and complete data, there's no way to successfully reach your target accounts. Data is the foundation to a successful account-based marketing and sales strategy. But getting the good data is really a challenge for the majority of organizations. And in fact, a recent Serious Decisions study showed that 60% of marketers confessed that their data was unreliable. That's a pretty big number. So is ABM, is it here to stay? Is it sticking around? Um, I thought these were, there's a lot of statistics out there on ABM, and I went through and compiled and put together a list of the top 5 ABM stats to really help you maybe convince any skeptic within your organization. Companies are 67% better at closing deals when sales and marketing teams are aligned. They also generate 208% more revenue for their marketing efforts. 80% say that ABM outperforms all their other marketing initiatives, and 92% of B2B marketers consider ABM either extremely or very important for their overall marketing efforts. And then the last one, 84% believe that ABM provides significant benefits for retaining and also expanding current client relationships. So these are just some really great statistics to pass around within your organization to show the significant impact having an ABM program in place can make. So when we talk about your database and having poor database quality, what exactly does that mean? So, as I mentioned earlier, poor database quality is often one of the biggest obstacles that we marketers face in order to effectively reach target accounts. And when I say poor database quality, I'm referring to either having old or bad email addresses, incomplete, often missing data, and then duplicate records as well, right? Among other factors that make it really almost impossible to reach your target accounts successfully. In fact, according to Marketing Sherpa, 50%, which is half, that's the statistic there under the letter, of all email addresses go bad every 12 months. And only 21% of prospects provide the accurate phone number through the form fill. And, I have to admit, I've been guilty of that myself, right? Sometimes we don't want a salesperson calling us. So those are just some really interesting statistics on how important it is to really continually maintain your database on an ongoing basis and have your data continually refreshed and cleansed. So give me just a second here, there it is, taking just a second for it to switch over there. So here on this picture is a bridge with reach for smart forms in the middle. And so on one side, you often have, long forms, and, you need that data, but often prospects abandon the form, right? They just don't want to fill out all that information. And on the other side, the forms are too short, right? And you don't get the data that you really need to market to those potential customers. So as you can see, the importance of capturing that data without them abandoning, right? Trying to get all of that rich data in real time is going to be critical for account linkage. the need to append and enrich data in real time is crucial for account targeting. And making sure account data is accurate and organized, it's going to be a must, right, for multiple reasons, for lead scoring, for routing, and also for all your nurture programs. Um, so even though there's often sometimes that, like I mentioned, that painful gap between having to keep registrations short so conversion rates stay high while still capturing all that rich data needed for successful ABM. So that's where Smart Forms comes in. So what I'm going to do is walk you through how Smart Forms can help to combat that incomplete data from your leads by importing clean, validated, standardized data at the point of entry in real time. So how does it work? So SmartForms sits on top of any existing form in a marketing automation platform or other lead form software. Here I'm showing an example of an existing customer of ours, Marketo, using SmartForms on their contact us page. Here you can see where I've entered my information on the form. And then what SmartForms is going to do is work in real time behind the scenes to gather all that firmographic and demographic information about our company. So you can see now once you click submit, SmartForms is requesting that I verify which company I'm referring to. And the reason for this is that for this feature is it improves the accuracy of the match between the company and the information it provides. So even if I chose any of the above, SmartForms is going to select one for me. So once a prospect submits their information, SmartForms is appending all of that company lead data in real time and sending it to your marketing automation platform or CRM, depending on how you have that set up in your organization. I'd also like to point out that this window, it's completely customizable, so including the number of companies suggested, as well as the algorithm of how SmartForms determines which companies to select or choose as well. So this is an example of, what you'll get and what you see. So here you can see on the left is that optimized user-friendly form with just a handful of fields that would be on your landing pages, for example. And then on the right is all the information that SmartForms is appending alongside that manually entered information from the prospect. I will point out that this is only a sampling of the data that's actually available for you to pick from. There's over 120 data points that you can pick from, also including installed technology or all of the corporate hierarchy information. So as I mentioned, SmartForms, it's completely configurable, so you can consume as much or as little of this information that's going to be required for your specific needs. Another cool feature of SmartForms structured data is that it provides company information for the domestic offices and also the global parent company as well. This can be extremely helpful when it comes to segmentation and identifying the possibility of a much larger opportunity within that organization. There we go. Sorry, there's a little delay here. All right, so here is another visualization of how SmartForms captures all of that necessary and accurate data on the first form. So therefore, on subsequent forms, marketers can really start to drill down and use more progressive profiling fields to capture all that important BANT information. Since on that first form fill, SmartForms already appended all of that firmographic and demographic data. So that really gives you the option to really get to know them and really drill down a little bit more what it is what they need. Really allowing for more effective personalization for known leads. Therefore it's going to help shorten the length of the buyer's journey through the funnel and also help close the loop on lead to opportunity conversion, right? Which is thus going to directly improve the ROI for all of your marketing programs as well. All right, here's a slide with it has multiple reasons that some of our customers are adopting smart forms. Um, Again, as I mentioned, there are many benefits for having enriched marketing data, and this chart just represents the reasons why our customers are adopting smart forms. I mean, so as you can see, most of them are not just adopting for one reason, but multiple. The top reasons include simplification of lead handoffs, so that having the ability to route leads to your sales team efficiently is huge. Power lead scoring and marketing automation, as well as enhanced targeting and segmentation as well. All right, so in this slide you can see these are some metrics that our customer Marketo shared with us after implementing smart forms throughout their site. So you can see the significant increase in conversions and the decrease in the cost per lead that Marketo experienced by shortening their forms. So you can see over on the right, they originally had 9 fields and then shortened it down to 7 and then down to 5. And you can also see if you look down, they experienced their highest conversion and lowest cost per lead while receiving even more data that was on the original form that had 9 fields by implementing smart forms. Here are some more metrics from our customer of ours, Hortonworks. Um, so Hortonworks experienced after implementing smart forms, this is what they had shared with us. So the conversion rate for their top targeted campaign was 47%, and they saw a 43% increase in lead accuracy. That's just incredible. Those numbers speak for themselves. So in summary, what I would say is that, having complete and accurate and timely data is necessary, right, for account-based marketing. And SmartForms really allows you to capture this data at the very first step of the buyer's journey. All right, so with that, I'm going to take it to Q&A. And again, I want to thank everyone for joining me today. And as I said, if we don't get around to your question, I'll definitely follow up with you after the webcast. So it looks like we have a few questions that were submitted. Give me just a second. Let me pull up the very first question. Okay, this is a great question. And this is one that I often hear. So, will smart forms interfere with with my existing landing page forms? So, no, that's a really good question. Smart forms will not interfere. Um, it can be configured to work on any online lead form. So, that's a great question. Thank you very much for submitting that one. All right, let me get to our next question. So how does the flow work? So how does smart forms work? So smart forms is just a piece of JavaScript that sits on the page form. So what you do is you would create hidden fields for the data points that you desire, and then smart forms would populate that data and would just be along for the rest for the ride with the form as it normally would. So thank you very much for submitting that. That was a great question. All right, here is another one. So what systems will it work with? So SmartForms will work with any platform. It's a platform agnostic. All right, looks like I have just a couple more questions. So do we get the data in real time? So yes, the data is appended to the inbound lead at the point of lead conception in your marketing automation platform or your CRM, right? However you have that set up within your organization. All right, let me get to the next question here. Give me just a second. All right, so do you provide global information? So that's a great question. We hear that one a lot too. And yes, we do. We have around 225 million records and a very strong global data set within those. All right, looks like there's just one more question. So the question is, how can I obtain the same information to clean up my existing database that I would receive for new leads? So that's a really good question, right? So Smart Forms is going to be for all new incoming leads, right? Not for existing leads. Um, so you can actually apply the same parameters to your existing database, and we can update that data on an automated basis with our CDM solution, Continuous Data Manager. So by implementing both a front-end solution like Smart Forms and then a back-end data management strategy like CDM, it really does provide a more holistic view of your data from all sources. And if you want any more information about our CDM product, feel free to reach out to me directly or visit our website, and I'd be happy to help you with your needs for that as well. So I think that was it. It looks like all of the questions that we had for the day. I want to thank everyone for taking the time out of your busy schedules to join me, and I will send a recording out for this, and hopefully everyone learned a little bit. So thanks again for joining, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.